What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like in the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we were finally able to finish the red-crowned crane aviary, and I absolutely adore this exhibit. I just think it turned out really cool. We'll probably end up doing, a few tweaks to it here today. Shouldn't be anything too crazy, though. Our main objective for today is just going to be overall zoo management. We're really close to having a nice smooth operating zoo here at the Toogii Wetlands. There's just a couple of things we need to take care of. Starting off, once again, over here with the otters, we're going to go ahead and pause things. So they just had Bebe. Once again, we now have a male Gennady, and then a female, Mega. Super dope names. Super dope names. So what we need to do, and actually a lot of you reminded me, I completely forgot about this functionality in the game, but we can apply contraceptives to the younger otters in here, the otters we don't want to inbreed with their parents. Obviously for like the newborns, we're not able to do that, but we could apply contraceptives to these younger adults in here. Let's see. Okay, so this is one. This is the dad. And then I think this should be mom over here. So we need to find the other young male. These two, unfortunately, we're going to probably have to either send to the trade center or just release to the wild. I'm kind of leaning more towards releasing to the wild because, we're taking the kids away from the parents right now, and it makes me feel a little guilty, but we gotta do what we gotta do. We've got a zoo to manage here, so let's go ahead and send them to the wild, and then we gotta find the other one. I could just click on the exhibit, and sort through the animal list right here, but that's boring. I wanna hunt for these things. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Anyways, this is gonna be Bagus. Good old Bagus. We're going to go ahead and release him to the wild as well because, and I probably should have talked about this prior to doing that, but their navigable land area was getting very small because there's just so many of these animals in this exhibit. They also don't have any deep water, and I didn't realize that until just now. Maybe someday, we could add a little bit more depth to this place. There's just not a whole lot we can do. Because if you guys watched the episode where we actually started constructing the otter exhibit over here, which I'm sure you did because you're loyal subscribers, but if you guys did see that, then you'll remember if we were to get rid of the water right now, it's going to be like next to impossible to place it back in. Actually, let's pause it. I want to experiment and see if it's still awful. Let's get rid of the water, and yeah. It's just not going to let us replace it for whatever reason. It could be the barriers here. It could be the path is too close. It could be a whole number of things. So we're going to undo that because that's just a bad idea all around. But now we have just mom, dad, and then should have been two Bebe otters. Where has the other? Oh, there's the other Bebe. Okay, we're fine. Everything is good with the otters. Now let's check in with our red-crowned cranes over here. Just make sure they're doing all right as well. It's kind of hard to find the habitat barrier for this one, since there technically isn't one. It's all just with a null fence. But let's click on the animals, see what we got. Okay, we can upgrade their food quality to grade 2. We should probably do that for the otters as well, if possible. So let's click on the habitat gate over here, and we will do the same thing. Oh no. Okay, not gonna work for the otters at the moment. What about our research? How is our research coming with the vet research? Maybe after research level 2 is complete on these animals, we'll be able to upgrade their food quality. But as you can see over here at our only concession stands available, they're very popular. So I don't think it's going to be too much longer, and we're going to basically have to take this structure, and we'll probably end up putting another one just over here. I feel like that might look pretty nice. But who knows? Anyways, we have an inspector that just showed up. They're going to check out Habitat 1 and Habitat 4. So I guess let's just start working on the additions that I wanted to do to the red-crowned crane exhibit. You can see we've got a couple of people over here trying to get a better view of the animals. And thankfully, some people have started to realize how cool the indoor observation house that we created actually is. So that's finally seeing a little bit more use. Got 120 bucks in the donation box there. That's not super good, but it's all right. And then Another thing we really need to make sure we're doing is making money, because our money was just going down super, super quick. I think as long as we just let things play out here today, we should end up with maybe like 75,000. We'll see. We will see. But I want to start things over here. We're actually going to pause yet again. Since this path was just temporary, I'm going to go ahead and delete everything from the bridge to probably about this point here. What I want to do out here was actually a suggestion from one of you. I apologize, I don't remember who it was specifically, but you know who you are. So what I want to do is utilize those educator like talking points seating things. That's definitely not what they're actually called, but I want to try to put a couple of those over here. I just think it would look really, really good. So let's do that right there. I want to experiment with it for the moment. You can see the terrain is definitely not getting flattened because I didn't have that feature turned on. But let's head into facilities and we'll see how we actually place these. I know they have to go alongside the path, which is why I did the path the way I did here. I don't know if I'm really feeling it though. The first thing I want to do is grab the flatten to foundation tool with our terrain editor. And I'm just going to bring this out slightly so that once we do get that path elevated just a little bit, it's not going to look super out of place. And we're essentially burying these guests alive at this point, so if we hit play, they should just sort of disappear. Perfect. Oh, one of our red-crowned crane is about to mate. Hang on. This is worth letting things play out. We'll resume the path here in just a moment. Look at that. They're doing their, you know, typical song and dance stuff here. Red-crowned crane is expecting offspring. That is big. That is big. We've already had one bebe, which again just looks like a very, very large baby duck, but he's pretty cute. Now with our terrain elevated just slightly over here, what I'm gonna do is hold shift with this path. And what that's gonna allow us to do if we move our mouse up or down is elevate this thing just a little bit. So we're gonna bring that up until there's sort of a border or a curb around it. Ooh, vet research complete. Good deal, good deal. We're gonna bring that out to about there. And then if we just connect that up to our existing path, that's going to give us a nice gradual slope sort of leading up to the flatter area over here. And then let's actually bring this all the way around. Yeah, dude, that's a solid idea, because then other guests on this part of the zoo would then have a little bit easier time sort of getting around here. Dude, the paths are doing some weird stuff. You can see right here, no matter where I put my cursor, it just doesn't want to go straight. That could be because the trash can over here, I actually don't even know. So let's move that for the time being. And then we'll try this one mo again. Yeah, it's just, for whatever reason, it doesn't want to go straight. We can only go left or right. Oh, dude, I totally missed it. Our red-crowned crane just had offspring. Where is Bebe? Where is very, very large duck? Is this new Bebe? Oh god, I'm still trying to place a Planet Zoo bin. No, you're Nico. We knew about you. Yasuko? Kind of a cool name, I guess. We got a bronze medal on this one. Pretty solid, but a female this time around. Good deal. Oh, and our vet research is also done, so we should probably check on that as well. They're going to be continuing on research level 3 for the otters. Okay. Facility having significant negative impact or negative effects on guests. That's just lovely. But now that we have the research level, what? We're on 3 now, so this should be research level 2 for these animals. Yes, good deal. Okay, now we can upgrade their food quality to grade 2. Looking good. Looking good. I wish this path would just work, but it's not. For whatever reason, I can't quite figure it out. So maybe we don't go this way. Maybe we just kind of end the path right here. I'm kind of fine with that. So, game, tell me, where is this? Oh, Animal Trade Center. Yeah, I should have sort of expected this, tell you the truth. I've got an idea. Actually, let's just move these facilities to the opposite side of the entrance. That way, nobody is affected, because nobody goes over here, at least not right now. Of course, once we do a couple of other things out on this side of the Toogii wetlands, I'm sure that's going to change. We'll have to move them yet again. But for right now, I'm cool with doing this. Really quick, I think we should probably move the signage for these facilities as well, just so we can kind of keep everything in check You know, that way we know where everything is. But there we go. We've got our mechanic workshop over here, and on this side we have our animal trade center. Looking good. Now, if we hit play, there's not going to be any negative impact on our guests over here. You know what we could do? We could add another bathroom. You guys, the Toogii Wetlands has one bathroom at the moment, and that's just not going to fly long term. I can't see that working out well for us. So let's just grab they're called restrooms in this game, aren't they? No, that's not right either. Are they really not called bathrooms? How am I getting this so wrong? We've got drink shops, food shops, power, staff facilities, souvenir shops. Oh no. The inspector has just left. Education is 0 stars? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
Why? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, I'm not sure I want that inspector to ever step foot in this zoo again. Can we, like, put in a restraining order or something? Yikes. Oh, education facilities 1 star. Still, that's not very good. What did she not like? Doesn't even say. Doesn't even say. Doesn't give me any way to improve. So we'll just try our very best, I suppose. I'm really struggling with this whole bathroom debacle, you guys. Oh, also up to $71,000 already. Looking pretty solid there. Okay, let's see what we've got going on in here. As I said, drink shops, food shops. We've got power down here. Staff facilities, I mean, maybe? It's not in drink shops. It's not in souvenir shops. I can't believe that it just doesn't exist all of a sudden. Unless I'm really looking in the wrong spot, but I don't think I am. Toilets.
All around me are familiar faces.
What did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? What did we learn today? It's not bathroom. It's not restroom. It's not the can. It's a toilet block. Noted. Noted. So this isn't going to be entirely realistic over here, but I'm just going to kind of embed this toilet block right behind this door here. The guests are going to end up just kind of clipping through the wall, but at least they have a secondary bathroom for the time being. I think they'll probably appreciate that, because the only other one we have is clear out here, like in the middle of the zoo. I really want to give the guests a pretty solid view of the exhibit here. So you're telling me we have no advanced move on something like this? Dude, come on. Total missed opportunity. It's going to be a little finicky trying to get these exactly where I want them, but I think we can manage just fine. Oh, we've got vet research complete. Okay, before we continue on with this lovely looking path, we've got to get our vet moved from red crown crane back over to the Asian small-clawed otter. We should also go through and do the research on the boa constrictor, the Danube crested newt, as well as the terrapin for our smaller exhibit species, but we'll do that in due time. Not a huge deal. I'm okay. I'm okay with how this is looking right now. I wish I could do another one just over here, but as you can see, it's not gonna let me place it. It says uneven placement, so it could be the terrain, it could be the path itself. I haven't the slightest clue. We're gonna go with this for the time being, and then let's go ahead and just bring this path out just like this. So this eventually will lead to another bridge kind of going over the water, and then we'll have this whole other landmass to expand the zoo to. Yeah, you're really getting a good view of the cranes through the bamboo, through the thickest bamboo I've ever seen. I don't think you're seeing much of the cranes, if I'm being honest. These people, they got a better idea. Just a little bit better. Anyways, so now that we have the animal talk seating in place, I think what we need to do next is add in the animal talk point, right? Probably pretty important. So I'm gonna get this rotated around so our educator can make their way out here and actually utilize this seating in order to educate our guests. Hopefully that's gonna boost our education rating overall. I guess we'll find out. Let's link these two seats. Confirm that. Perfect. And no species assigned, of course. So we're gonna place the red crown crane on this one. And our talk month, I believe, for our otters, because we do have a animal talk point over there, is already March. So let's do like February. Isn't that the proper way to pronounce February, but nobody actually says it that way? So we'll have that on February. And then I think that's actually everything we needed to do over here. Vet research complete again already? Dude, we are just hauling balls through this. That's fantastic. All right, now we're going to put them back on the crane so we can get level 3 going for them. Let's see if we can increase their food grade once again. Probably not. Not quite yet on the otters. What about the cranes? Let's see what we got going on for these bad boy billies. Negative. With this significant gap right underneath our animal talk seating over here, it's not really looking the greatest. So what I want to try to do is bring out just a little pad, just like that. I would say that's pretty evenly spaced on this concrete pad, and I definitely like the look of that a lot more. I think it'll look even better when we add railing to it, but for right now, I'm not really liking the look of this terrain. So what I actually need to do is delete what we just did and adjust the terrain first. We also have the option to allow standing guests over in this area, but since it's kind of a main path area, or at least it will be when the zoo's much, much larger, I'm not going to allow that. I allowed it over here with the otters because, of course, we don't have any seating or any room for seating over there. But for this, I'm going to leave it disabled. Just a few slots over from the Animal Talk seating, we have the Animal Talk railing. And it looks like this will actually snap into position as long as you're obviously hovering over top of the Animal Talk seating. So we'll do that right there. And across the back, we'll, of course, add some additional railing. That actually looks really nice. Can we change the color of this? Good. Good. What about this thing? I think we should try to match the overall barn type look or circus tent look that we have for this thing. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We've already got the red in there. The wood color is probably the additional steps. So let's try that maybe in that gray. Wasn't it 70, 70, 70? Does that sound right? Looks right anyways. For the concrete color, we're going to do the exact same gray. And then the light color. Interesting. I wasn't aware you could actually change the light color. Let's just do like a light yellow. I think that'll look fine. Actually, pure white light is probably going to look the best even at nighttime. Speaking of which, I haven't even looked at this zoo in the darkness. Ooh, yeah, that looks really sick actually. Oh, and the animal talk point even has its own little light there. Yeah, we're gonna need a bunch of lights here before too long. Oh, the windows actually are illuminated over here as well. The signage is looking pretty solid. Kind of almost looks like that white around the like shop facade even has a little bit of illumination to it. Wow. Okay, it looks cool, but yeah, we need like street lights and spotlights, you know, accent lighting all around this place. But we'll do that at a later date. I'm not gonna concern myself with doing that here today. The golden railing actually, to be honest, it does kind of work. It really, really does. But I want to try white railing just so we can sort of match that overall circus tent or barn look. Let's see what this is going to look like. So far, so good. I'm digging it. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Again, the gold is pretty solid, but I think overall white is probably going to be just a little bit better looking here. February couldn't come soon enough. I just really want to see the Animal Talk seating in action. It's currently September, so we've got a little while to wait around for that to actually take place. We'll check in over here with our concession stand area, still just as swamped as ever. Oh, I understand why now. We just hit like our peak capacity here at this zoo of 600 guests, give or take. So maybe it is about time that we duplicate this building and we'll just experiment for right now and see if it actually is going to look pretty good. So we're going to rotate it around 180 degrees and then try to slide it on over here. We might even have to change the angle of it just slightly. I think this looks a little bit better for what we're trying to do. Drag it over to the right just a tad, right about there. I think that looks pretty good anyways. Maybe a little bit closer to the main path right there. There we go. Okay, I'm super, super stoked with that. I think it'll work. That's $11,000 down the drain. Oh, but we're still up to 73. Wow, dude, we're making money hand over fist now. That's excellent news. Now, of course, we're going to have to allow our guests over here one way or another. So I'm just going to create a nice simple path, kind of curving around, almost following that same curvature of the swamp or the pond, whatever you want to call that we have right over there. And I think that is going to work for right now. Next up, we need to, recreate that same sort of boardwalk that we have over on this side. Thankfully, it should be pretty easy. On the other facility, I'm pretty sure I used the grid from the entire group. Over here, that's not going to work because you can see the height just isn't really matching up with where the path actually needs to be. So I think what I want to do is use the 4-meter path piece that apparently exists over here, which I don't think it does, truly. Oh, and that's not going to line up at all. Oh no, this is going to be more difficult than I thought, you guys. Okay, I think I kind of found like a roundabout solution to this. It's crazy enough that it just might work. So what we're going to do is elevate the entire facility. You know, nobody said anything about these two facilities needing to be exactly the same height. Now, we're going to select the grid group from this bad boy. Place just one path for right now. And then let's go ahead and start dragging this thing down until that path is the height that we need it to be. Let's try this. It looks pretty close. It looks pretty close. That's not even the right boardwalk material. What direction are we going here? Is that horizontal? That is horizontal. Good deal. So that's what we'll do right here. We're going to align this grid now with our existing path piece. And we'll just get this all filled in. I'm almost certain that's sort of the look that we have going on here. Yeah, it's got like a slight little curb to the path. So I feel like we're doing the right thing. Now what we need to do is actually allow the guests to enter and interact with these facilities by just adding some paths, sort of connecting everything together. And there we go. Now, what we need to do is just have a nice, very, very simple boardwalk connecting the entire structure to the overall main path. And Bob's your uncle. I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote. I'm not going to be using the exact same facilities, though. I think the Pip Shot Water, obvious choice, we need to leave that. But like Mexcellente, we could probably swap out for another business, as well as Bernie's Bakes. Gotta go. And I just remembered that we still haven't done any research on our food vendors or our drink vendors, which means we're probably going to have very, very limited options of facilities to place inside of here. We have a Gulpy Soda. Okay, not terrible, I suppose. Bernie's Bakes, of course, and then a Chief Beef. But that is quite literally it. So since we have the Pip Shot Water already in place, I guess let's just do a Chief Beef right over here. And I suppose, even though we probably don't need a second drink vendor out here, we'll just huck in a Gulpy Soda. Should be fine. I think the last thing we need to do out here is just add in our signage. So there's the Gulpy Soda sign. We need to recess that into the shop facade a little bit better. And then over here, this was a Chief Beef. So let's get the old Beef Boy signage up there. I can't believe I never noticed this, but I just realized that this sign says 100% beef flavoring, as if it's not actually real beef, which, I mean, that could be a good thing, I suppose, for a zoo, right? There's maybe a few vegetarians or vegans in the mix, so maybe they would appreciate that, I suppose. But let's get that sign recessed into there, and then it should automatically hire some new vendors. Oh, now we're going to need an entirely new vendor work roster as well. Let's actually head into our staff. I want to see how many vendors we have now overall. We've got 8 in total, 2 of which that of course don't have a work zone quite yet. But the Pip Shot Water didn't automatically give us a vendor to operate the facility. And I'm assuming that's because we haven't actually done the research on it just yet. But let's grab another vendor and hopefully they just like get right to work. They will. Okay, that's good. And then we're gonna need 1 additional floater vendor that will kind of relieve our existing staff members, you know, when they inevitably have to go off and take a break. Dude, look at this. The people are just flocking to this place. Also, this kind of gives us that secondary bathroom that we were looking for. So the one that we added inside of the main entrance is gonna go bye-bye. Hopefully nobody was inside of there because they just disappeared for forever. Before we continue to let time pass here, I think it's probably important we create a brand spanking new work roster just for these vendors. So the other one we called Bora Bora vendors. This one, I guess we'll just call Bora Bora 2 vendors or something like that. But there is a pretty big staff resting facility fairly close by. I would say it's a little bit closer than these vendors, which is clear out there. But there we go. We've now got Bora Bora 2 vendors work roster. So let's head back into staff, scroll all the way down to our vendors. Now, anyone that's not currently part of a work zone, we're just going to place into Bora Bora 2. It should just be 4 of them, I believe. Okay, we're ready to continue to let things play out here. We'll see how it all goes. I'm hoping you can see here the entrance vendors and the Bora Bora vendors roster we had before. Everyone that's part of that has a high workload. So I'm hoping that just with the addition of these 3 new facilities, or 4, I guess, if you count the bathroom, but just with the addition of those facilities, I'm hoping that it's going to kind of take the load off of everyone else. With the base structure now completed and our work zones finished up, I think all we have left to do is just add in all the additional decoration, you know, recycling bins, trash cans, tables, umbrellas, the whole 9. Honestly, I really like these episodes where we just get to do a little bit more zoo management. You know, we actually get to experiment with a lot more of the game's functionalities, and we're not just building something for the entirety of the episode. I think it's a little bit more fun, of course. Let me know what you guys think, but I know a handful of you probably enjoy these because, you know, we get to see the animals. Since we don't quite have that much research actually complete on facilities and things like that, I'm not so sure we have additional education devices. Oh, we do have the conservation education boards, and we even have some stuff for the tykes, you know, for the kiddos. Oh, actually, before we get to the conservation boards and things, you can see now that we've got much more increased foot traffic over here, they're actually getting surprisingly close to our mechanics workshop. And then on the opposite side, you know, we have the trade center right there. So what I think we need to do is kind of something similar to what we ended up doing over here with these little barriers. And I believe these to be guest specific, so I don't think this is gonna, you know, affect our staff from entering into the mechanic workshop whatsoever. It should just hopefully keep the guests sort of out of that red zone. If we check out the heat map here, it's not much actually. The other one kind of comes around the backside here, so let's move this one out just a bit more to about that pole, and then we can duplicate another one of these just to fill in that gap. And there we go. Now guests are just going to walk on the outside. They're not actually going to go underneath the pillared section, which is perfect. That is exactly what we needed. Again, I mean, these facilities probably aren't going to be here long term, but for right now, it's a pretty good workaround, I'd say. We're now almost up to $86,000 overall, and I think since we've kind of expanded the zoo a significant amount, it's probably about time we drop down at least one more caretaker. They're just floaters. They just kind of go wherever there is trash, and that's what works for them, so we'll just let them keep doing that. Once again, we've got a little bit more of that research completed. Oh, it's April already? Dang it, dude. I missed the February animal talk. Shoot. Okay, let's change this. Let's do May. It just became May. He's probably not gonna come out here. We'll try it though. Oh no. Okay. Haven't checked on the Danube crested newts in quite some time. We only have one turtle or terrapin over in this facility, so they're not breeding, and then we only have one boa constrictor, so they're also not breeding. But the newts are just going hard over here. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So let's click on this exhibit. We'll go to animals. We'll see how many we've got. Too many. Okay, we've got all the bebe moved out. It is now just mom and dad in here. Their welfare is still very, very poor. Oh, cleanliness. Right. Where's our keeper? Alrighty, I would say we dodged a bullet there. Is that me? It is me! Why am I always at our own zoo? I just find that So strange. And look at my thoughts on our own zoo. Oh, there's a Karen. Great. Well, they made it inside. They have infiltrated the facility. You definitely look the part as well. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, look at our recent thought. There isn't much to see in this zoo. That's us. That's me in game saying that. So, not good. Not good. Ooh, Gennady is about to mature. That's pretty sweet. So with these animals now, it's important once they do mature that we place them on contraceptives. That way they don't inbreed with their parents. It's just not good overall. That's not a good thing. This could be it. He's not swimming anymore. Come on. There it is. Good deal. Okay, so he is getting placed on contraceptives straight away. And then we need to find the other bebe. Oh, dude, Mega's just taking a snooze over here next to Dad. That's adorable. We did just recently finish a little bit of research for these animals. Still on food grade 2. That's fine, actually. It's $2,000. Wait, was that $2,000 per feed? I wonder how often they get fed. Hopefully it's just once a day. That's very expensive. So let's wait for the other bebe to wake up from their nap. And then she should be an adult now as well. Perfect. We will apply a little bit of contraceptives to her. Was she just shaking her? Oh, yeah, look at them. They're like, oh, no, I think that's them making a caca. Yeah, I thought they were just shaking their tails when they were waking up, but doing something completely different. My goal today was for us to end up with like $75,000. You guys, we're $5,000 away from $100,000 again in this zoo. And that is a great feeling. Believe me. Okay, over here, we did change this to a different month. Let's put it back on February. The last thing I want to do here today is going to be adding in those conservation boards. How about poaching and the exotic pet trade? That seems like a good one to educate the guests on. And then we are done editing that group now. So let's head over here and we'll do the exact same thing, but probably choose a different education or a different topic to educate the guests about. For this one, I'm going to choose deforestation. Again, just seems like a solid topic to educate these guests about. Also, if you're interested and you're also playing the game at home, you can have a look through this. It does actually give you a lot of pretty solid facts about the matter. We should probably change the colors for these so they sort of match their environment as well. We'll do the same brown that we've used for the rest of the facility, and then the leaves trim color. That's going to be FFF for pure white. There we go. All right, now we just have to do the same thing to the other one, and then that is a wrap for today, ladies and gents. Like I said, I had a lot of fun recording this episode. Not that I don't when we're, building things, but those episodes are much more time consuming and we don't really get to see much of the animals or experiment with a lot of other of the in-game mechanics. But I think that's where we're going to wind things down at for today. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.